The Arabian Gulf's calm was shattered this week, as a sense of unease swept across the region. Iran launched a massive missile and drone attack on the United Arab Emirates, sending shockwaves through the Gulf and beyond. Explosions lit up the night skies over Abu Dhabi and Dubai, cities long celebrated for their safety, prosperity, and modernity. Hundreds of drones and ballistic missiles targeted major urban centers, marking a dramatic escalation in regional tensions and a new chapter in Middle Eastern conflict. This unprecedented assault followed the killing of Iran's supreme leader by US and Israeli forces just days earlier, a move that sent shockwaves through global capitals. Iran's promised retaliation arrived swiftly, with the UAE, an American ally and a symbol of modern progress, caught in the crossfire of a rapidly escalating crisis. Air raid sirens wailed through the night, and the thunder of missile interceptions became the new reality for millions of residents and visitors alike. The attack targeted not just military sites, but also the UAE's identity as a global business and tourism hub, threatening its reputation as a safe haven in a turbulent region. Fires burned near iconic landmarks, and smoke rose against the backdrop of futuristic skyscrapers, symbols of ambition now shadowed by conflict. The message was clear: no one in the region is immune from this conflict, and the sense of vulnerability has spread far beyond the UAE's borders. The UAE's sense of security has been deeply shaken, its defenses put to the ultimate test as emergency crews and soldiers race to respond. World Now asks, how did the UAE's defenses hold up, and what does this mean for the future of the Middle East and the fragile balance of power? The answers will shape not just the UAE, but the entire region's future, as leaders and citizens alike look to what comes next. The UAE government moved quickly, holding an emergency press conference within hours of the attack. Officials addressed a worried public, providing urgent updates about the scale and impact of the Iranian assault, aiming to calm fears and prevent panic. According to official reports, over 180 ballistic missiles were launched at the UAE. Of these, 172 were intercepted by advanced defense systems, and 13 failed in flight, but one managed to evade defenses and struck Emirati soil, causing a powerful explosion. The missile barrage was accompanied by a massive swarm of 812 drones. 755 were shot down, but 57 made impact, overwhelming the airspace and targeting multiple sites. This overwhelming mix of missiles and drones was designed to push the UAE's defenses to their absolute limits, testing every layer of their security. Tragically, 3 foreign nationals lost their lives in the attack, and about 70 people were wounded, many of them hospitalized with serious injuries. Fires and damage hit key infrastructure in both Abu Dhabi and Dubai, disrupting daily life and business operations. Among the sites damaged were a luxury hotel on the Palm Jumeirah, Dubai International Airport, and several Amazon fulfillment centers, all vital to the UAE's economy. The Jebel Ali port, a major global shipping hub, was also struck, causing fires and disrupting business for days. The attack sent shockwaves through the tourism and logistics sectors, with travel agents and logistics managers scrambling to respond. The government expressed deep sorrow for the loss of life and pledged immediate support for victims and their families, promising aid and assistance. The material damage was a clear sign of Iran's intent to harm the UAE's economy and disrupt its global standing. The sheer scale and coordination of the attack left the nation and the world stunned, with many questioning what might come next. Now, the UAE's resilience and unity are under the spotlight as the country begins to recover and rebuild in the aftermath. The UAE's defense was a high-stakes, multi-layered operation. Integrated air defense systems, Patriot, THAAD, and advanced radars worked in tandem to detect and intercept threats. Fighter jets scrambled to hunt drones and missiles before they reached populated areas. International partners, including France, joined the defense, with French Rafale jets helping neutralize drones. The sky became a battlefield, with interceptor missiles lighting up the night. Residents were urged to stay indoors as falling debris caused fires and localized damage. Despite chaos, the UAE intercepted over 90% of incoming threats, a major military achievement. Years of investment in technology and training paid off, but some projectiles still got through. The operation highlighted the importance of alliances and rapid coordination. No defense is perfect, especially against such a massive assault. The UAE's shield bent, but did not break. The world took note of the country's preparedness. The challenge now is to adapt for future threats. Iran's attack on the UAE was a direct and dramatic response to the killing of its supreme leader by US-Israeli forces, a moment that sent shockwaves through the region and left Iran's leadership determined to retaliate in a way that would be both visible and consequential. The UAE's close partnership with the United States, along with its status as a vital regional hub for business, diplomacy, and military operations, made it a prime target for Iranian retaliation. Iran saw the UAE not just as a neighbor but as a symbol of Western influence and a key pillar of US strategy in the Gulf. Tehran aimed to show strength both at home and abroad, sending a message to its own people and to the world that attacks on Iran would carry a heavy price. The government wanted to rally domestic support and project an image of defiance and resilience. By striking the UAE, Iran sought to pressure the United States directly and destabilize a key American ally. The attack was designed to disrupt the sense of security that the US and its partners have long relied on in the Gulf. The attacks targeted the UAE's reputation for safety and economic stability, aiming to scare off investors and tourists. And Iran hoped to undermine confidence in the UAE's ability to protect its people and its prosperity. Iran wanted to punish the UAE for its foreign policy choices and its alignment with Iran's adversaries, especially its growing ties with Israel and the West. Tehran viewed these moves as direct threats to its own security and influence. This was not a proxy attack. Iran's own military claimed responsibility, removing any doubt about its intentions and signaling a willingness to escalate openly. The assault was a calculated move to widen the conflict and raise the stakes for the entire region, forcing neighboring countries and global powers to reconsider their positions and alliances. Emirati officials called the attack a grave miscalculation, warning it would only further isolate Iran and deepen the region's divisions. The scale and directness of the attack marked a new phase in regional hostilities, shattering previous assumptions about the limits of confrontation. Iran made clear it now sees the UAE as part of the enemy camp, a nation firmly on the other side of a deepening divide. The risk of a broader war has never been higher, with tensions threatening to spill over into neighboring countries and draw in outside powers. The region now faces a dangerous new reality, one where the consequences of each move are more unpredictable, and the stakes for peace and stability have never been greater. Iran's assault extended beyond the UAE, targeting several Gulf states. Qatar intercepted drones and missiles but was forced to suspend most natural gas production, shaking global energy markets. Saudi Arabia saw a drone strike on the US embassy in Riyadh and an attack on the Ras Tanura oil refinery. Bahrain and Kuwait, both hosting US military forces, were also targeted. Even Oman, usually neutral, felt the conflict's effects. The attacks put the entire Gulf Cooperation Council on high alert, pushing states to coordinate defenses and share intelligence. Leaders across the Gulf condemned Iran's actions as a grave threat to regional stability. Instead of dividing the Gulf, Iran's aggression has united these countries against a common threat. Security alliances have become more important than ever. The region is now more united in its opposition to Iranian aggression. Daily life in the UAE has changed overnight. Air raid sirens and emergency alerts replaced the usual calm of Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Schools and businesses closed, streets emptied, and residents sheltered indoors. Airports halted flights, stranding thousands and disrupting global travel. The attacks deeply unsettled the UAE's large expatriate community, with many foreign governments issuing travel warnings and evacuations. The country's reputation as a safe haven is now in question. Even as the immediate threat faded, anxiety and caution linger. Parents worry about sending children to school. Simple pleasures now feel risky. The psychological impact is profound, dividing life into before and after the attacks. The government is working to restore confidence, but memories of fiery skies remain. The UAE's sense of invulnerability has been lost. A new era of vigilance has begun. The attack struck at the core of the UAE's economic confidence. Stock markets in Dubai and Abu Dhabi closed, then plunged when they reopened. billions wiped out in hours. Investors feared escalation and long-term instability, triggering a wave of sell-offs. Tourism, a vital industry, was hit hard as images of burning hotels and grounded flights spread worldwide. Cancellations surged, and the industry faces an uncertain future. Strikes on ports and logistics centers exposed vulnerabilities in supply chains. International companies are now reassessing the risks of operating in the UAE. Insurance costs for shipping and business are rising. The government's challenge is to restore confidence and prove the UAE remains a secure, global hub. The attacks have raised tough questions about the country's economic model. Recovery will require both security and sustained peace. The world is watching to see if the UAE can bounce back. The stakes for the region's economy are enormous. The UAE now faces tough decisions in the wake of Iran's assault. Military retaliation is on the table but risks all-out war. Diplomacy remains an option, with back-channel talks and international pressure possible. The UAE must balance deterrence with the dangers of escalation. Its response will depend on U.S. actions and the ongoing conflict with Iran. Military resources are strained. A long conflict could be costly. The leadership must weigh security against economic interests. The choices made now will shape the region's future. The Gulf faces a turning point. Prosperity alone can't guarantee safety. The attacks have shattered the illusion that economic interdependence prevents war. Gulf states are now boosting military spending and deepening alliances. An arms race could bring stability, but also risks permanent tension and catastrophic conflict. The world's energy flows through this volatile region. A wider war would have global consequences. There is another path: diplomacy and de-escalation. Dialogue and communication channels are needed to prevent miscalculation. The challenge is to pursue both strength and peace. The Gulf's future depends on finding a balance between deterrence and dialogue. The world is watching to see which path the region will choose.